Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna give this a try again. So this is gonna be another mail day. I'm gonna kind of go through the stuff that's come over the last week or so, and I think this is from most recent to furthest in time. So just kind of go through, chat about these a little bit, explain why I got them, and what PC they fit in, and we'll see if this whole setup right here works. It probably won't. So here is a Donruss Elite die cut of Mo Vaughn. 49 out of 100. This is my most recent mail day. It's a little off center, but it's a, old school die cut. Mo Vaughn is one of kind of like my side PCs. He's a first baseman that I really liked growing up. So I saw this pop up. It was, $10, $12, $14 or something like that. Numbered out of 100. Great looking card. Couldn't pass it up. This bad boy broke the bank a little bit. This was one of those that I didn't want to price enforce, but kind of price enforce. I didn't think I had any chance of getting this. It was in the mid twos from PC Sports Cards, and there was this one, and gosh, I think there was a Mo Vaughn as well, and the Mo Vaughn ended earlier than this, and it went for $60, $70, which was I think in line or a little bit above recent comps of that card. This one, it's a PSA 9, and it's, the crazy die cut. I haven't looked up the pop of this. It's got to be super low. I do not see very many. I've seen a 6 pop up. I've seen some 8s pop up, but not a 9. And gosh, I think the last raw sale went in the 2s. And so I don't really have the money in the budget, and I'm already over budget for the month, but I have 70 cards in 2 separate packages that are at DC 87 Sports waiting to be unloaded and consigned. So I'm like, well, I'm hoping that between those two, unless I get completely raked over the coals, that should hopefully be over $1,000's worth of stuff between the two of them. I think my list price on them on eBay was $3,000 worth. And so I figure that on a buy it now offer, like a bin OBO thing, I probably would have been happy with $2,000, and then figuring I'm really rolling the dice, so I'm hoping that I get $1,000. And if I get closer to 2, that's great. But anyway, so I'm expecting here in the next couple of weeks to be getting a decent amount of money from DC 87 Sports, which, famous last words. But it made me comfortable bidding on this. So basically what I did is I looked at the recent comps of the 6, the 8, the raws, and figured, if this thing goes below 300, it's a great deal. If it goes below 250, it's a steal. I think that's basically my thought. And so I was I really want the card. Eventually I want one of these in the PC. I never see myself buying a 10. I don't know what a 10 would even go for, but I don't see myself paying a premium for a 10. If a 10 ever came up and it was a steal of a deal, well, big whoop. I buy the 10, I sell the 9. But this is probably the one that's going to be in the PC for a long time. So anyway, long story short, I came up with a number that I was comfortable with as kind of the minimum I wanted to see this thing sell for, which was in the 250 range. And that's the bid I put in at the last second. And I won it for less than that, which was shocking. It's one of those things, it's when you do a mega bid, right? Where you're well, I would literally pay $500 for card X, but I really, really hope I don't have to. And it's oh, you got it for $450. Well, that's less than I was willing to spend, but the reality of I just spent $450 on a card, or in this case, about $250 on a card, sinks in when you've won it, right? So it's yes, the elation of getting the card you want, but then it's that's a lot of money. So I had that with this thing. I just love it. This is a permanent PC card. And like I said, the only way that this leaves the collection is if it's replaced by a 10. and like the 10 will come first. I will have a 10 in hand, and then I will move the 9. Otherwise, this is staying. I just love it. Really happy to have it. I'll just kind of flip through these. These are add-ons that have come on for multiple sales. As you can see, it's all Jordy stuff. I've bought a bunch of Jordy stuff lately, and some of the guys that I've bought from have sent in just some kind of commons as adders, which I always appreciate. I have a bunch of these, but I also, when I sell Jordy cards, I normally toss in some Jordys. So some of these, like the Sage Hit, this base rookie, this Upper Deck, this one, like those will probably, I will re-gift to someone who buys something from me. And some of these others will probably just go in a binder. Actually, I have these too. So maybe this one will go in the binder, and these I'll pass it back along to someone who buys a Jordy from me when I go to move one. I won't put that up on the stand. This one's awesome. Had a, what is it? It's PC 23, Packers Cards 23 on, gosh, I hope I'm getting that right. I chat with him every once in a while on Instagram, but he saw this on Mercari and knows that I'm trying to get all 25. This is a 21 out of 25. But I'm trying to get all 25 of these just because I thought they were really cool. It's one of the first cool Jordy cards I got when I got back in. Sure, it's not playing years. Sure, it's player worn, which means that I wouldn't have it in my collection right now. But I just love these, and it's important to me, and they're relatively affordable. I think I'm at 14 out of the 25 now. So slowly adding those, but that's just an awesome thing where like a guy in the hobby that I chat with saw that, thought of me, and let me know. So he gave me the heads up that I needed so that I could basically create an account on Mercari, find it, send the guy an offer, and got it. So that's awesome. These 3 cards right here are new to the collection. I have this one already. I need to check because I don't think mine's serial numbered to 70. It might be serial numbered higher or lower, but I do have a Sizable Signatures on-card auto like this out of Black Gold that I need to check. But whether I have this one or not, it's an on-card auto playing days. So happy to have it. Worst case scenario, if I need to get another Jordy card, I can hopefully use this as a trade or to sell to another Jordy collector at that time. But until then, like happy to have it in the PC. And then this is a Spectra out of 2. This one's funny. I just assumed, so it's 2017, so that's his last year playing with the pack. I just assumed that this was a more recent Spectra. So when he like showed me, I'm sorry, this is from Alan Thompson on Insta. I chat with him quite a bit, and he was looking to move some of his Jordys, and he's like, hey, like, first shot to you if you're interested in any of these. And at first I thought I only wanted this one. But then he's like, hey, like, this one's 2017. And I was like, oh, shoot. And it's a 1 out of 2. So out of 2, it's a sticker, but it's autograph out of 2, playing years, important to me. Playing years for the Packers. I don't generally get 2018 stuff. Especially won't get it if he's in the Raiders uni. But happy to add that. And then I was like, shoot, I actually don't have this one. So add that in. So got these as a package from him. I forget. I think I asked him, but I forget if he said he was just downsizing or if he was trying to move into something. But hopefully, he was able to take the money that I spent on this and get something cool, whether it was something in the hobby or something out of the hobby. Sometimes stuff comes up, and sometimes you just need to downsize. And I understand that as well. So these next cards, here we go. These next cards here, I'll kind of show each of them off. That one's out of 75. These are all new to me. Like, these aren't duplicates is what I mean. Sorry if that doesn't make sense. Spectrum. That one's out of 5 right there. So there's a guy on eBay who's been posting a bunch of Jordy stuff, RC Johnson, and then some numbers. I think his name is Clay. And he's been posting a ton of Jordy stuff, and I've bought quite a bit from him. I've started actually just messaging him back and forth. We went back and forth through eBay quite a bit the other day. I don't think he's on any socials or anything, but he's moving out of a decent amount of Jordys. And so I was able to kind of package these, and he worked me an incredibly reasonable deal. Like, I didn't, I wasn't stealing from him. He wasn't stealing from me. Like, I paid, I think, really close to what they're valued at. He got most of what he wanted out of them and didn't have to deal with a headache. So, so I got these from him. He's got a bunch more stuff up on eBay. He's kind of the main reason why I've been over budget, because these aren't cheap cards. Let's see if I can do this without messing stuff up too much. So these aren't cheap cards. Not super expensive, right? But when you have a bunch of them, it does add up. So happy to add those. I'm running out of room here, so I'll have to do these videos a little bit more frequently. But the setup's been working all right for me so far until I figure something else out. 2 more cards left. So this one's 97 Circa Rave Reviews of Frank Thomas. I've kind of mentioned before, both on Instagram and in the previous video that I recorded, that 2023 to me is kind of like the year of Frank Thomas in my PC. A bunch of other stuff too, but really Frank Thomas, and especially the mid to late 90s, very early 2000s inserts. And so, obviously late 90s here. Rave Reviews. This was a super cheap card. This was like $10 or so. And so couldn't pass it up. Just looks great. The shine to it, just really cool. Forget what the pack odds of this were, but pretty high. And then last but not least, yeah, look at that shine. This is a 2013 Topps. This is the Legends Gold PSA 9, which again is I love the 9 because quality is just exceptional. Unless it's a really bad 9, but for the most part, like it's a little OC on the back. But this is out of 99. You can see right there. It looks great, especially the front. Has that crazy shine. This is my first of these that I've had in hand, and I didn't realize that it had this look. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, so it's an SP out of 99, rookie, PSA 9, Keenan Allen. Didn't have it. Trying to get all the Topps Chrome, Prism Select, trying to eventually build those rainbows for Keenan Allen and DeAndre Hopkins. So really happy to add this. Forget how much this was, but it was incredibly reasonable. So yeah, that is that. I will probably try and get this on YouTube at some point. So when you see this, it means it's up on YouTube, but it might be very far from today when I'm actually recording this. So if you go on my Instagram at JRL Cards, you'll see all these cards. When I got around to posting them, I'm also very behind on taking pictures of stuff. I still need to take pictures of all these, which is why some of them are still in the top loaders and stuff that they were sent in. So I still need to take pictures and then get those up on Instagram, but I'm like a month or so behind on that. So thank you for watching. Feedback is appreciated, and I'll try and get this one and the last one uploaded on YouTube soon, and then hopefully once I figure out how that works, I'll be a little bit more consistent. I'll aim at like every week or so. So future me hopefully is doing that, and hopefully you who are watching this sometime in the future have a bunch of other videos of mine that you can check out. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.